was organized by a friend of mine, Mike. Mike's an expatriate from England, and the tourism department was talking to him about something they could do to bring tourism to the city. And Mike came up with the raft race because, well, Mike had organized raft races in England many years before. It turned out to be an event that is carried on until this year, 12th race we're in. It began in 1999 with a one-day event, changed, evolved to a two-day event, and now the three-day event, which is 112 miles. 112 miles from the city of Nauta, which is up the river from Iquitos, back to Iquitos. It covers 3 days. We camp out 3 nights, and we have competitors from all over the world. We have competitors that are local, some great rivalries that are local. We have regional teams as well, national teams. It's grown quite a bit. Our highest number of teams was about 46 one year. So this year I have a bet with Mike to beat his record, and we're going for it. We're going for 60 teams this year. There have been so many wonderful contacts made, friends made through this race. It's brought a lot of attention to Iquitos, and I've made quite a few friends through the race. What else could I tell you?
Okay, well, how dangerous is it? Have you had any accidents or drownings or serious problems?
Well, you know, the Great River Amazon raft race is dangerous. It's dangerous in many ways. We've had some almost tragedies happen. I could tell you about a couple of them. One was this older gentleman, 71 years old, rafting with his family from Canada. And they had built a beautiful raft that year. In fact, his son was on the winning team that year, who happened to be from the United States. And they beat the local teams. They made a new record. The team was easy living. But his son-in-law was on that team. But Petrowski's his name. They made a 4x4 long raft instead of an 8-wide traditional raft. And when we took the cutoff on the second day, he got snagged. He got snagged by a log that was sticking out in the water that you really couldn't see. His raft capsized. Everyone went in the water. Some felt like they were caught under the water, but they got back out. And the rescue boat was there immediately almost, and they were rescued. And but he had quite spirit. Petrowski's got some spirit. He wanted to continue, but there was no raft. It was destroyed. So what happened? Where did his luck come from that day? Another team decided to leave the race, and David assumed their raft and finished that race. Finished the race, even though he almost had tragedy on his team. It was close. And then I remember another race that happened. This was 2008 race. Well, my team was missing a team member at the last minute that year, and we had to find a substitute. We found a Peruvian in there that I had known for a number of years, who had quite an interesting story, which led me to believe he might be useful. But as it turned out, we had some incidences along the way. But this young man, about 25, I suppose, had an interesting upbringing. He had moved to Iquitos from Yurimaguas, a jungle pueblo down the river, or up the river. And when he was 5 years old there was a lot of Sendero Luminoso activity. And his father, who was a successful man, although not living with him, his mother and brothers, had a sorcerer put a spell on him, basically. He died. And so that left the mother and the children to fend for themselves, and they built a raft, loaded it with bananas, and did a 10-day rafting trip from Yurimaguas to Iquitos and started a new life there. So it led me to believe he had experience on the water. Why did I know? So this young man grew up as a street kid, basically, and as quite inventive. and starting out as a shoe shine boy and then selling jewelry, and then it goes on and on. But he was a little cocky. That's what I'd call him, cocky. We took the picture before the race, and he was standing tall and cocky like a machista, a Peruvian machista. It was beautiful. But then the race for 3 days with this cocky young Peruvian turned out to be almost a disaster, one of those tragic events. He was cocky enough that he was mocking the river. He was not showing respect to the river, and as a matter of fact, he wasn't showing respect to his team in as much as he wouldn't raft, together with us. He would have a spurt of energy and then sit down and rest and then talk. Well, that's where we got a motto for our team, Vamos Ya, our team. Our motto is shut up and paddle. Shut up and paddle. Well, on the third day, we were arriving at the finish line, and he's just as cocky as he was from the beginning. And we have strategy. So we're going to get over close to the boats that are parked there on the side because we're going 200 meters up current. On the last leg of the race, we're all tired, 3 days rafting and sun, and so we get over there kind of close to stay out of the strong current and not lose our position. And well, we got snagged. So we're going, oh my gosh. And so he jumps off the raft to get us unsnagged without his life jacket. And he goes under one time, but he comes back up, and then he goes down a second time, and we don't see him, and we're trying to hold our position there. And well, we start screaming at him, yelling at him. Where are you? What the heck are you doing down? You crazy little... We threw some expletives out here and there and called him, and finally he came back up, jumped back on the race, and with a few more expletives, we made it to the finish line. And we took a picture after it. Looked a little more humble, this young Peruvian did. So it was a choice we made and we had to live with. We had to shut up and paddle with that boy. But then, a few days later, I saw this boy that we called El Chato Loco, the crazy short guy. And he told me his version of that story. He said, I got pulled under there after I got us unsnagged, and I felt this power like pulling me under. It was crazy. And I was having to make a decision to fight or to let go and go with it. And then I heard an angel's voice. And we all had to laugh later because I guess I turned out to be the angel, screaming expletives to this poor boy who was drowning. And the spirit of the river, of the great Amazon, was going to show him how cockiness survives and disrespect to the river.